organization has decided to try him as both a position player and as a pitcher. They're really trying it here at the Double-A level. Jonathan Mayo of MLB Pipeline is with me. Jonathan, do you think this can work?
I mean, can it work, Ben? Yeah, of course it can work. It hasn't worked all too often. There are more and more teams who are trying to make it work. Most of these guys as amateurs were two-way players. They don't specialize usually until later on, and often they choose one or the other. You see more and more teams really making an effort to let players do both, to see maybe one jumps to the foreground on its own organically. It's awfully hard just because of the amount of work that you have to put in to excel either as a hitter and position player or as a pitcher. Naturally, some work is going to be taken away from one or the other if you're splitting your focus. And that's why we haven't seen it too often. Guys have to be tremendous athletically to be able to do both. The work ethic has to be off the charts. It's happened a couple of times at the major league level, but it's few.
A minor league pitching coach offers advice to a new member of his staff.
Well, this is fascinating. He and the organization have decided they're going to try a two-way experiment. This is the early weeks of his career, and it's an unusual mix. He's going to be alternating between playing the field and being a relief pitcher. He's going to have some high-leverage situations on the mound, and he's going to hit and play the field. Jim Callis of MLB Pipeline is with me. Jim, they have to have a lot of faith in him to let him try this.
Yeah, I mean, if they didn't believe in his ability both ways, they wouldn't use him as both. I think you're exactly right. I mean, if they're going to be using him, in crucial situations late in ball games, this isn't just, hey, let's, give him some innings and see what happens. This is like, hey, the game's on the line. Can he handle that role? And, it's just fascinating. If you could get to the big leagues with this combination, be a guy who maybe hits, at the top or in the middle of a lineup, and pitch the 8th or 9th inning of a ball game coming out of the bullpen, that would be just a terribly valuable player.
This manager is hoping to stoke the competitive fire of his pitchers.
Welcome into this presentation of minor league baseball from the Double-A Central. Tonight, the rubber match of this 3-game series between the San Antonio Missions and the Midland Rockhounds. It's baseball, it's the show, and it comes your way next.
Rockhound.
James Nail will do the pitching in Game 3 of the series. What's your take on him, Dan?
Well, this guy's kind of unique. How about a 5-pitch repertoire that he has that gives him a lot of options for both righties and lefties?
Next, it'll be Fernando Jr.
Fernando Jr.
Here's the first pitch to him. This one's down to third. He's got it. One there. On to first as they get the double play to get him out of the inning. So no runs on one base hit, no errors, and no one left on. So it's on to the bottom of inning number 1. Next, here is Tyler Ramirez. He drove in 3 of his team's 4 runs in last night's game.
Ramirez.
Now this is hit not all that hard out to second. And he is in there. The batter will be Kai Tom. He did not play last night, but clearly back in the starting 9 for this one. Grounded to short. Oh, and he can't come up with it.
Infielders are talking the time.
So now here is Tyler Ramirez, reached by way of a fielder's choice his first time around. On the ground to short. This could be 2. The second for 1. Relay to first in time, and just like that, the side is retired. 1 hit in the inning, but that gets erased. Striding in is Fernando Jr.
Fernando Jr.
Swing, line, drive. That's going to be trouble.
Round.
He takes the turn and heads for second. And he'll pull into second with 1 away.
That had to be in the scouting report right there. You don't see too many 0-0 breaking ball ambushes in the game anymore. He had to know that pitch was coming.
And now in the box, Jim Hernandez worked a walk his first time up. Swing and a liner. And that's in there. JR rounds the corner and is headed home. And he's safe at the plate. As they cut their deficit in half, it's a 2-1 game now. So the batting order turns over now and set to go Mickey McDonald as he'll dig into the left-handed batter's box.
Been a struggle for him hitting from this side. And as a switch hitter, you really hope for some more consistency from both sides of the plate. But that just hasn't been the case for him batting left.
Well, the play's been made, and with it comes the end of the inning. One hit in the inning, but no one left. Ready now is Kai Tom. It was a walk in his last trip. Looking to keep this a one-run game. The pitch changed up on him here, and this is grounded to short. Throw in time, and the side is retired. So no runs here on a base hit. Now to bat, Fernando Jr. He doubled his last time up. Ready to deliver. Here comes the first pitch. This is line to left. Ramirez able to track it down for the third out. Now at the plate, here is Fernando Jr. Third baseman hugging the line here. Now the first pitch. Tying run at the plate, the 0-1. Good pitch as this is swung on and missed, and now they're down to perhaps their final strike of the evening.
Yeah, if he's going to pound the zone with this stuff off.
Swing and a miss. He struck him out, and that'll do it here as the ball game is over.
Basically, nobody better qualified to talk about what it's like as a two-way player than legendary softball star Jenny Finch, who joins me now. Jenny, when you were coming up, what was it like for you? How did you deal with people who doubted your ability to stay as a two-way player?
Well, first, it's an honor to be here. I couldn't be more thrilled to be on this show. It wasn't easy. There were some coaches actually that I ended up changing teams because they wouldn't let me be a two-way player. But I wanted to, and I wanted to have the bat in my hands. I wanted to be able to be on defense, and I wanted to pitch. And so I would encourage those young athletes to do what you want to do and go out there and shine. And so it's exciting. It's not easy. It's double the work, but it's been done, and it's going to be done. And it's exciting to see the future and the opportunity for this guy.
For any player who gets drafted, there's a certain level of scrutiny, but of course, that's much higher here. How much mental toughness is he going to need to make it through as a two-way player?
All eyes are on him. And, it's not easy being able to try to make it in general in baseball, but let alone a two-way player. But he's done it his whole life. And so he just needs to, focus on him one day at a time and keep grinding away at what he's done to get here.
A player new to his AA squad gets a tip from one of his coaches.
One of the most underappreciated skills a young player can develop is plate discipline and the ability to work good counts to your advantage. A good at bat can go a long way. Mike Lowell, you know a little something about that. How do you build a good at bat as a hitter?
Well, I think preparation is the first key. Understanding what type of stuff you are going to see that night. And then being able to have the discipline not only to swing at your pitch, but even more importantly, to not swing at the opposing pitcher's pitch. We're not robots, and I think all position players really bank on a pitcher's mistakes. So do you have the discipline and the patience to wait for your pitch instead of just saying, the first thing that looks like my bat can get on it, I'm going to swing. So I think building that game plan and understanding what you want to swing at with the mindset of being able to lay off the pitches you don't want to swing at can give you that information to execute not only in those early at-bats, but be able to make adjustments on later at-bats in the game.
It doesn't have to be early in the at-bat either, working yourself into an advantageous count. You could get to 2 strikes and keep fouling off pitches and frustrate a pitcher until he gives up that mistake pitch.
Well, it depends on who the pitcher is and how much is he going to stick to his plan? But I know this, if a pitcher gives me his best pitch 2-3 times and I just foul it off and I can grind the at-bat out and extend it to another pitch, sooner or later he's either going to make a different pitch or he's going to miss that spot one time, and that's always advantage hitter.